Hello and welcome in today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, on Daniel J Illustrates. Me drawing this woman in the trees. Today, I thought this would be an interesting drawing to do. Um, Now I've been doing mainly 90-minute art challenges for a little while. And it's been great because I have like a kind of a big project at the moment, and the 90 minutes I can keep doing the YouTube videos, and I can keep on also doing some like kind of side exploration stuff and just advancing um and getting better in drawing and stuff like that. So it's always helpful to kind of have little kind of side things that you can go do, whether it's, going and getting your sketchbook, or yeah, just delving into doing 90-minute art challenge once a week, or whatever it is. Um, Doing a doodle and a drawing at the start of your day can be very helpful as well. Um, yeah, so this is kind of what I'm doing now. As you might have seen on some of my channel at the moment, it's mostly 90-minute art challenges lately. Um, but I haven't got anything kind of big projects that I'm sharing on YouTube at the moment. Um, but yeah, this one here in particular is an image I found on pixabay.com, which is an awesome free imagery website. Loyalty free, copyright free, and you can just kind of download the imagery, um, and use it, I guess, as you will. I'm not, yeah, I'm not 100% sure of all the logistics of that, like, commercial use and all that stuff, but um, it's all free to use imagery as far as I know, so it's awesome. Um, and you get a little bit more variety in a place like that, um, versus just Googling kind of woman. um, you get uh, kind of different imagery. These are images that people have actually taken, where like Google will find you the images that say, maybe um, more important people have taken, or are more popular, um, and that kind of thing, where these images that you do find are created. Some of them are created by, some of them are created by maybe decent photographers. Some are maybe created by maybe amateur photographers, but are really good. I think this photo is really good. Um, Higher quality. I mean, I don't know a lot about photography, but it is a great image, well focused. But the pose is what I was going for, because in the project that I'm working on now, um, in that project, I have to deal with a lot of different people doing different poses and different things, um, body shapes and body languages. So I thought that maybe if I do a couple of 90-minute art challenges, so this art challenge, and the next one I think will be another person, another pose. If I do one at least, it will give me a little bit more help, to kind of, give me uh, a little bit more help in figuring out how to pose a character um, correctly. It's always challenging. There are many ways to do it, to pose a character. Obviously, you need references to help you guide you in what the pose will look like. Also, you got to give in mind the characteristics of your character. So, is he short? Is he tall? Is he um, kind of chubby, or is he skinny? So obviously, you still have a pose for the reference, obviously, but then you've got to add on top your character. Um, so, doing sketches like this or drawings, where I do delve with just one pose and try to get that right and developing that. Um, and I do a little bit of the background, because it helps me with the pose as well, and it, trying to capture the scene a little bit. And also, um, I did want to spend all the time kind of working on her, trying to get her looking good and everything like that. But um, I also want a little bit of the background in there. I just didn't want it kind of blank, blankety blank, just her like that pose. But I was more focused on the pose um, in the end and trying to get her correct versus the background. But it's still kind of an important thing to me to have it placed, to help kind of see where the character fits and how she's interacting with the environment as well, and where she is in space and everything like that. Um, it does help a little bit, some like these are why some artists create the background first, paint the background, then draw the character in. Um, and that's just sometimes the aspect of where they are in space and all those things. It can be a little bit more helpful, and you can use the objects around her to then size up and down like her scaling and things like that. So um it can be very helpful to have both background, landscape, and the character in there as well. um but yeah, just focusing, and sometimes it can be like, frustrating if you're not getting the right results from a certain object or place or person or whatever you're drawing. There might be something that's not fitting right. Everything else is looking okay, but there's this one thing that just isn't working, and so sometimes you do have to drop these things and come back to them. Um, you just don't have the right solution for it yet. Basically, you're trying to figure out the solution, tackle it, and then you come back and you eventually you get the solution. Um, you know, it was interesting painting this because I've been dealing with a cold lately. Um, so I've had to kind of stop and start this painting a few times, or this drawing. Um, but that's okay. I think it gave me a little bit of time to think about this as well. I do that sometimes where I might do like half an hour one night on the 90 minutes, and then the next night I do the rest of the hour. Um, or I might start it at lunch and do like 10, 15 minutes of it just to get out of the way, and then that night I'll finish it off. So sometimes I do break it up where I do a little bit of it. It might just be like the preliminary sketching stage, and then I'll come back and kind of finish it off. But the whole time I'm drawing, it's 90 minutes of me drawing, and it's not me you know, start at 12:30 and then I finish at 2 o'clock. Um, because I mean that's kind of good, and it's kind of good to get in that behavior of be like, I'm working from this to this. Um, but yeah, that for me doesn't always work. Where I'm like, yeah, from here to 2 o'clock, like, well, from 1 to 2, I'm doing this, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm working on. It doesn't always work for me, and that's just who I am and how I work. Didn't say I can't do it that way, because you say I was a studio and I had to do it that way. Um, but for me, yeah, I do like a little bit more free flow per se in the way I work. Um, yeah, sometimes. But yeah, here I'm dealing with a little bit more kind of the shading. and going into the final piece right there. So yeah, there are some things that came out of this. Um, I think it's a little bit different to the reference, but that's the thing. I'm not here to get a perfect image. It's a 90-minute art challenge. But I'm here to, improve my posing skills, my drawing skills, so I can, bring that back and take it into um, this project I'm working on. So thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully you did learn something. Keep up those little challenges, little things that you do. Um, Other than your big projects. Keep creating, keep drawing, and see you in the next video.